Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Wednesday, July the 15th. We're brought to you by KC Securities. I'm here with my co-host Alex Parr. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Chris.
So, 1 o'clock, Doug Ford will be back again. He's going to be with Christine Elliott today. She wasn't there yesterday, but she'll be at the announcement today. But Marilee Fullerton, who's the Minister of Long-Term Care, will be at the announcement. We're going to have it at 1 o'clock. This announcement will be coming from Queen's Park, so it won't be on location. Doug Ford will be traveling around, though. He was at Eclipse yesterday, which is a manufacturing facility, and he's starting a summer tour where he's going to go to different Ontario businesses and really promote, buying Ontario, and he talked about that yesterday as well. However, we have been talking a little bit about Florida, and because it is now Miami is the epicenter of COVID-19 for the planet. There's only been two epicenters, Wuhan and Miami. However, what they did find out was a bunch of different parts of Florida were only submitting their positive test results and not their negative test results. And they figured this out when Orlando had a 100% positivity rate. So then they went back, and the people who are doing the data noticed that some areas were only submitting the positive cases. So Florida's positivity rate is actually 10.8%, which is way better than the 19%. Now, that's still way above the 7%, was the highest we ever had here in Ontario. However, Florida isn't as bad statistically speaking now. Obviously, on the ground, it's horrible, but at least it's not as bad as 19% of people testing positive from COVID-19. Speaking of testing positive for COVID-19, a couple days ago, we talked about a party that happened on Torch Lake on it's called a Sandy Bar, and we showed some pictures of that. There you can see some now. Basically, it's a sandbar in the middle of the lake, people to go out on their boats, and then they party out there. Well, surprise, surprise, some people decided to pass around COVID-19, and now, because obviously this is next to impossible to do contact tracing, the state of Michigan has had to issue a press release asking anyone who was at that event at Torch Lake to please go get tested, particularly if you have any symptoms. If you have any symptoms, please isolate immediately, because multiple people tested positive for COVID-19 who were at that event. And they also said to either go to your primary care physician. I know we have people who watch from Michigan to the show, or you can call 1-800-432-4121. That's 1-800-432-4121. But if you have any symptoms, self-isolate until you can get a test arranged. And hopefully that will not be a massive outbreak, but it has the potential to be another hotspot, just like we had, the Kingston nail salon here in Canada. One person had it, and then the next thing you know, 50 people test positive within a couple of weeks. So
it's like telling a 2-year-old not to do something. Don't do it. What are they going to do?
Yeah, everybody still went and did it anyways.
Yeah.
America, you can still go to churches, which amazes me. And they're exempt from gathering numbers, which is, anyways, it's a bunch of stuff below the 48th parallel that I do not understand and makes no sense during this pandemic. So anyways, so if you were at that Torch Lake party, please go and get tested if you have any symptoms. Also self-isolate as soon as you feel any of the symptoms of COVID-19. Alrighty, moving along here. What do we got over there for Strong Minds? We got a video.
Okay. Hopefully we have enough time to sneak this video in. Danielle Dupuis from Sioux Online, she headed over to Clerk Park, actually, where Amanda Lambert, the CEO of Strong Minds, decided to, just because there's COVID doesn't mean you can't keep a workout going. So about 3 times a week, she'll find a way of getting the community together, whether it's Zoom calls or outside or whatever it may be. But Danielle just couldn't leave it at that. She needed to go a little bit deeper and speak with Amanda to find out a little bit more about what she's doing to keep the community connected and in shape.
We have been offering outdoor fitness classes for the community since June 17th. And it's just something to be able to offer the community while we are still waiting for gym facilities to reopen. Yeah, so we're offering classes Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 12 o'clock. Mondays is Strong Hits, Wednesdays is Strong Body Boot Camp, and Fridays is Strong Move. So it's kind of a different classes to be able to kind of target all body. COVID first hit, I really had to offer a lot of services and support through like Zoom, phone. When restrictions and guidelines did lift, I was able to work with some clients, but we still have to really be conscientious of the government guidelines by adhering to social distancing. So it's still kind of impacted. I'm not able to take any of my clients to gyms. I'm able to take them out to outdoor classes like Strong Minds has been providing. But yeah, it's just been a challenge for everyone. And I'm really hoping that, you know, things start getting back to like somewhat of our old norm.
Well, thank you, Danielle, for that video. Much appreciated. Sticking with semi-local, the Sudbury murder ended up having their names released. The man charged in a shooting with the death in Hanmer Sunday is Michael Marois. I believe it is French, especially knowing some people that I know from the Hanmer area. Very French, if I do say so myself. He's charged with first-degree murder in the death of a 51-year-old man after an altercation on Rita Street. And it doesn't seem that they've released the name of the man who's been shot. I'm sure that's due to the family. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about the story a little bit, and that's really the only update there is on that story there. As you can see, the scene outside. Hanmer's such a nice little community, too. It really hurts to see that, you know, I know some people that live in that area that have to go through that. That really hurts to see. But yeah, thoughts with the family.
Yeah. And as I mentioned off the top, Doug Ford is doing a sort of summer tour, basically to thank a lot of the people across Ontario who stepped up during COVID-19 and also to promote Ontario businesses and so on. Yesterday he was at the Cambridge-based Eclipse Innovations. Now, Eclipse Innovations prior to COVID-19 was not a manufacturer of N95 masks. Prior to this announcement, but when COVID-19 started, N95 masks were made by a company called 3M, which is American. However, the pulp that goes into the N95 mask is actually from British Columbia. Some of you might remember that there was a point where Donald Trump was trying to order 3M to not ship N95 masks out of America, which would mean we wouldn't get masks shipped to us, even though it was our pulp making it. He obviously backed down from that, but we didn't want to be put in a situation where we're relying on other countries if we ever need N95 masks and other personal protective equipment. So they were given a grant for basically $1.4 million. This is to scale up their making of the N95 masks. So we will actually have masks in Ontario now. They're N95. We will not have to worry about getting masks from other countries anymore. Once this is scaled up, we'll have enough not only for Ontario, but there should be enough for all of Canada. And if they keep scaling up, we could actually become an exporter of N95 masks. So if something like this ever does happen again, we will have enough for ourselves, but we'll also be able to help other countries as well.
Yeah, very similar to the OC Bath & Body Works investment made.
Yes.
Ross Romano made that statement.
Yep.
They're making hand sanitizer. They're doing their best to help contribute during COVID-19 and transitioning a lot of these businesses to what's in demand. Smart thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, when this whole thing started, Bath & Body Works, they weren't even making hand sanitizer. And at one point, they were the largest Canadian manufacturer of it. Like, it's amazing how fast they were able to do it, scale it up. And I mean, the demand was obviously there, but they started originally just trying to help the Surrey Hospital, and then they just exploded from that. And yeah, so they've been given money as part of that grant that OC got was to also take stuff international, not just the hand sanitizer, but also to expand their other side of the business, which is personal cleaning products like shampoo and stuff like that as well, so that they can do it internationally as well. One thing Doug Ford did say was, we have the most talented and innovative people anywhere to make the highest quality products in the world. Ontario is a manufacturing powerhouse of Canada, and we encourage everyone to buy local to help our businesses and factories get back on their feet. What he specifically said was, if you have a choice of two products on the shelf and one's made in Ontario and one is made, let's say, I don't know, Texas, choose the Ontario one, particularly if they both cost the same amount of money. So he's still obviously open to, you know, he doesn't want to say not buy American, but however, if Ontario's an option or Canada's an option, choose that first.
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, you could be literally helping out a local business. You could be buying Bath & Body Works or OC Bath & Body, you know, their hand sanitizer, whatever it may be.
Yeah, instead of a hand sanitizer coming in from, I don't know, China or something.
And I'm sure you on the other end of the camera know someone out of work right now. So think about it. Think about just helping your neighbor down the street.
Yeah, we still have a 12.7 unemployment rate. So anyways, Daniel, can you give us a little teaser on the weather there, bud?
Yes, good morning, Chris, and good morning, Alex. As you can see on our live view behind me, and I'm going to put my umbrella up because it's going to be raining today on and off, so you're going to need your umbrella. Thank you, Danielle, for this beautiful floral umbrella that we have here. So, and I'm going to drive all the superstitious people nuts right now by doing this. So our live view is sponsored by wirelesscom.ca, and it is a wet morning, and we're going to see those showers kind of stick around throughout the day, and we may get some sunny patches later on in the afternoon, but I am going to have your full 3-day forecast as well as your current temperatures for Northern Ontario when we come back from this break. So stay tuned for more special report. We'll be right back.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
And welcome back to Special Report, brought to you by KC Securities. I'm here with my co-host Alex Parr, and we'll go over to the weather in just one second, but we got a couple Facebook shoutouts. One to Tammy Lynn, good morning to you. One to Evelyn, good morning to you as well. And also, thank you. We have 10 shares today on Facebook alone, so thank you very much for everybody who's out there sharing. We greatly appreciate it. If you want to say happy birthday to someone, an anniversary, or you have a question for us, you can just pop it into the Facebook Live chat. It's the only one we actually see live on the air, so it allows you to interact with us, and we watch that throughout the entire show. So if you want to do that, please feel free. But let's go over for the 3-day forecast to Daniel. What's the next 3 days looking like?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris, and good morning to St. Marie and Algoma. Good morning to David Babbage watching on our feed as well from Souk, British Columbia. We love our viewers over there as well. So I'm going to get into your radar right now, and as you can see on the screen, we have some showery activity still lingering through. We didn't really get much overnight. We had a special weather statement in effect, which we could have had up to 20 to 40 millimeters. We didn't get that. We had maybe 1 or 2 millimeters in pockets. This morning, you may have noticed when you went out around 7 in the morning, there was a bit of downpour. But other than that, it's been light showers. So those are going to kind of continue throughout the day and kind of ease off as we get into the evening hours. So keep that in mind and have your umbrella, as I did earlier here in the studio. Make sure that's with you if you are out today. So getting into your current temperature, it is currently 20 out, and like I said, there's some showers. There's a bit of humidity, but it's not too bad. We are going to see the temperature go up to 24 today with a humidex of 27, so much cooler than we've had in the past few days. We are going to see relatively calm winds, 6 kilometers to the southeast, but we have a humidity factor of 82%, and we also are going to get down to a low of 17 overnight. Now, getting into your 3 days, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of get through the showery period. A high pressure is going to come in for a couple of days, and on Thursday, we're going to see temperatures bump back up to 27 and then a low of 19 overnight, clearing out, mainly sunny. Friday is a good day just before the weekend, 28 degrees and a low of 19. Again, going to be very clear on those days. However, Saturday we're going to see another system come through and very unstable few days on the weekend. So high of 28 on Saturday. It is going to be very humid and a low of 18 overnight. But we are going to have some unstable weather coming, and I'm going to have your 7-day forecast coming up later on in the show, which I'll be able to explain that for you guys. So I'm going to send it back over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Dan. Greatly appreciate that 3-day forecast and letting us know what is coming down the pipe for us. Yeah, woke up this morning to a bit of rain. I must say that was a little different than what I've been waking up to the last little while.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was cooler over the last few days, but we did have some hot days last week. Looks like we will in the next few days as well. So that's looking good. Alrighty, I wrote an article on the Canadian-U.S. border closure called "What's the Debate?" You can see it at Sioux Online. And I discuss the border there and City Council. So I encourage you to go read that. Already tons of comments on that story. So please go read that if you want to learn more about the border closure and how City Hall is trying to affect that. And what's the debate? Alrighty, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. See you in a minute.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road.
Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service.
King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores.
Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
At Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we want everyone to build a life that they love, and we teach you how to get the results you want in your mind and your body. Introducing our new small group classes to provide you with a happy and healthier life. Our small group classes are limited to 6 people to provide more personal coaching, while having the supportive group environment. Classes are 10 weeks, and each week you will receive fitness and nutritional guidance that are tailored to your needs. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we inspire you to move.
And welcome back to Special Report, brought to you by KC Securities. We're going to go to Alex Parr in just a minute for some sports and another update as well on COVID-19. But we're going to go over to Daniel for the Northern Temps.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, we didn't forget about you, Northern Ontario. I'm going to mention your current temperatures here in the region. So, looking at Thunder Bay, we are sitting at 13. Wawa, you're also at 13 degrees. And Timmins, you're at 20. Wawa and Thunder Bay, you guys are the cool spots this morning. Here in Sault Ste. Marie, we're sitting at 20, and Elliott Lake is sitting at 22. That is the warm spot right now in our region, and Sudbury is also sitting at 20. Again, there's some showery activity going on in lots of places north of us towards Wawa there, so keep that in mind. The special weather statement did apply to you guys as well. So that's a quick look at our Northern Ontario temperatures. I'll be back after the next break with the 7-day forecast. Back over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Greatly appreciate that. Alrighty, some interesting things happening over in Michigan.
Yep, wear a mask or don't wear a mask doesn't stop you from a stab wound. Well, this is what happened. So, 43-year-old and a 77-year-old man, they go into a store in Michigan. One man is wearing a mask, the 77-year-old, and the 43-year-old is not. 77-year-old goes, hey, what are you doing? What's with this business? 43-year-old goes, and they start beaking back and forth. They get in it. They get at each other's necks until the 43-year-old pulls out a knife, stabs the 77-year-old man. But he's okay. He's in stable condition in the hospital. A pretty BA old man, that's for sure. Unfortunately, the man that did do the stabbing was shot and killed by police. It doesn't really say if he was charging at police or... that he was. Okay, wow. We're just straight up showing that. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Things you can get away with on internet streaming as opposed to television. I don't even think you could show that. But yeah, there he goes. I guess he was charging at police. No kidding, huh?
Wow.
Well, enjoy your cup of coffee. You just saw someone die.
He was really intense there over a mask.
I mean, the world is in shambles right now. I just don't even know what to say to that.
It's actually an outbreak right now. Lansing and Detroit, that whole corridor in Michigan is one of the hot spots in America right now.
Well, I mean, I said BA old man before, but I guess if we're going to show someone die, I'll just say that 77-year-old man is badass, that's for sure. Yeah, stable condition in the hospital, but his name hasn't been released. He's from Lansing.
Oh, already.
Oh, your batteries are dead? Oh my goodness, we got to get this figured out. Well, I mean, you did tease a little bit of sports. So
yeah, so what I can do is I can talk about COVID-19. Alrighty. In Ontario, we had 111 new cases yesterday, 116 on Monday. 111 is obviously a fantastic number. We also had 111 last week as well. They are expecting, obviously, Friday we're going to stage 3. And on stage 3, they are expecting, in 7 to 14 days, we're going to see a little bit of a spike because more people will be walking around, circulating, and so on. So you will see a spike in COVID-19 going forward, but we will continue to trend downward. Hopefully, this has happened in all the other places around the world that have kind of moved to the equivalent of our stage 3. They've always seen a spike. So, alrighty, NHL news.
Yeah, NHL. So when I found this story, I thought it was pretty ridiculous. I mean, so the NHL hub cities are both in Canada. We have Sportsnet, The Score, and TSN, 2 of which do broadcast for NHL games. And the NHL goes, you know what? Nah, NBC, come on. Doug Ford not happy about it. So NBC is going to be taking over the broadcasts in the Toronto hub city, which I don't really agree with. The NHL defended it by saying, well, 95% of 2,000 people working outside of teams, like in hotels or restaurants, 95% of those people are going to be Canadian. But for me, as a fan of the NHL, I don't want to see NBC doing the broadcast when I know we have perfectly capable Canadian journalists and on-screen talent that can do it. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, as well as Doug Ford, who openly said, not a fan. So that's it for the NHL. For Blue Jays, the Canada's Deputy Public Health Officer says, sure, the Blue Jays can come and do their spring training and getting ready for games in Canada, but talking about having American teams come and play home games for the Blue Jays in Canada, no go. So okay, well, I guess we can't hear anything in our ears right now, but what I can tell you is that we're headed to commercial, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more special report after this.
A message from the Government of Canada.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road.
Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service.
King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores.
Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
At Fit Bodies Fit Minds, we want everyone to build a life that they love, and we teach you how to get the results you want in your mind and your body. Introducing our new small group classes to provide you with a happy and healthier life. Our small group classes are limited to 6 people to provide more personal coaching, while having the supportive group environment. Classes are 10 weeks, and each week you will receive fitness and nutritional guidance that are tailored to your needs. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we inspire you to move.
And welcome back to Special Report for Wednesday, July the 15th, brought to you by KC Securities. Thank you very much, KC Securities. And we are going to go over for the 7-day forecast and the Weather Watcher.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, our Weather Watcher photo here we have it's actually from Mayfair, Saskatchewan today. So again, we continue our tour across the country here. That's a beautiful photo. The sun, I think that's the sun rising, and it's a beautiful photo there. Of course, Saskatchewan's known for their fields and harvesting, so thank you very much to Nick for sending that in. You can send your photos in to ontvweather@gmail.com. It can be pet related as well, how your pets are dealing with the heat. We'll take anything and we'll throw it up on there during our Weather Watcher segment, so make sure to send those in. Okay, getting into a quick recap of our 7-day forecast for you. So Thursday and Friday we're going to have some high pressure move in. We're going to see highs 27, 28 degrees and lows of 19. And then on the weekend, we're going to see a change. Some unstable weather is going to come in and we may see some thunderstorms. On Monday and Tuesday, we're going to see highs back into the seasonal range, 24 to 25 degrees. The sun comes back. And we are going to see a high of 27 on Wednesday, and our lows are all in the high teens throughout the week. So that's your 7-day outlook. I'm going to send it back over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much for that, Daniel. And yeah, keep those Weather Watcher photos coming in. Just a reminder, Friday's a big day for 2 things. One, we're moving to stage 3 across parts of the province. Algoma's one of the areas moving to stage 3. So there'll be a bunch of other stuff now opening up. About 99% of all businesses can now operate, even though they still have to do social distancing and things like that. Also on Friday, face masks, you'll now have to wear them in public businesses starting on Friday. And that comes from Algoma Public Health. And we will have news updates all day. We'll see you at 1 o'clock with Doug Ford's press conference. See Alex at 5 for the news and my show at 7. Have a great morning.